Hi, Rob. This is your plan with your changes and whatnot, and it all seems to fit. Um, you have the 20 by 22. I gave you a 2-foot tin door here. We could go down to a 2-foot 8. That's an exterior door. I'm not even sure they make a 2-foot 6 exterior door. They might. It's just that the smaller the door here, the more room you have here in your laundry, and the more room that gives you here. I do this at a 2-foot 8. Everything here is kind of at the minimum. Stairwell and everything is, I got about as tight as you can go. The questions that I have is, I'm assuming you want French doors here. I didn't see any doors drawn in your sketch. You have enough for either a 5 or a 4-foot French door. Another thing I need to know is, do you want your deck to go all the way back, or just enough to catch the sliding door here? Right now you have 32 by 10. Then I need to know if the sink works for you. This is kind of a normal thing. If you're gonna, what you do is you have 3 inches. It's called a dishwasher end panel. Then you have 24 inches for your dishwasher, and then you've been this is a 3-foot cabinet to carry the sink. So the sink would be centered right here, and that's what I need to know. If that looks good to you, then we'll center a window right there, and then you need to let me. Normally a window right here would be 3 foot tall, and then the width 3 foot allows you to have a 3 foot wide window gives you the maximum for uppers. Some people want like a 4 foot wide. That's fine. It just encroaches into your upper cabinet space, but we can make that whatever width you want. As far as windows go, I'm kind of assuming like a 6-foot window, 6 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot slider, and then here whatever you want. You can go 8 foot wide, or you can break it down to 3 foot wides, or 2 4 foot wide. You have about 14 feet from here to here, so you can kind of do whatever you want to. Then you got your slider there. I would assume a window here, a 5 by 4 maybe. I would assume a small, maybe 4 by 4 window there. Then you want a little window over there and a little window over there. And I would assume like a 5 by 4 and a 5 by 4 centered in both of these rooms. So the windows are, it's kind of your preference what kind you want. I also need to know, I know we're going cathedral in here with the ridge running down like that. The wall height upstairs, I'm assuming at 8 foot, as opposed to a lot of people like to go 9 foot. You asked me a question about the downstairs. Can it be less than 8 foot? It will actually be less than 8 foot. They use 8-foot panels, and those going up from the footing, and they normally come down 3 inches from the top. So you have a 7'9" wall to begin with, and then it's typical to put your 4-inch slab at the top of your footing. So now you're down to 7'5" on your walls. You really don't want to go any lower than that. I'm not sure if you can go any lower than that. So you're going to be at about 7'5" ceiling height downstairs. And as far as how it goes to the hill, you either scoop your backyard on the you raise the house so it's sticking out of the ground up front. It's kind of one of the two scenarios. Another question I have is, I assume at the 20-foot wide, you're going to want one 16 by 7-foot door in the garage. And the last thing you made a comment about, said a lot of that has to do with when you just call me without setting up a time, you catch me in the middle of something else, and if you all these questions I'm asking, we can do over the email for the most part. If you need to talk, we need to set up a time to do that, so that I have my stuff available for the rest of the day. Well, I would be available probably about after 5 if you talk. Otherwise, you can answer these things through an email.